to Mitford Pottery. This video is a project video. I have been requested to make a sink by a friend of mine. So yesterday I've been preparing some of the bits and pieces. So get you up to speed. So I'm going to build it on this board here. We'll have to get the camera mobile. Get off the stand. So we got a board. So I've started with a disc for the bottom of the sink, and this is an outline. If you can see it, I've done it's sort of an oval shape. So that's going to be the top edge, if you can imagine it. So that's going to curve up about 18 centimeters high. It's going to be higher at each end than the middle bit. And my thinking behind this is we will coil build this. So we've got the base, and over here did some just handmade coils ready to be attached to this fella over here. Now the main bit is the sink hole, which has to fit that, and to do that we've got a tester. So same thickness clear, we've cut a disc out, so that's the sort of cookie cutter size that we've used, taking into account the shrinkage of the clay. So we're going to see how that dries out first before we actually cut the hole in there, just in case we need it a little bit bigger. Right, stop you getting dizzy, we'll get you back on the tripod. Back on the tripod, back to the work area. Right, I've got some bits and pieces to move out of the way. So this bit we're going to do a bit of coil work. So I'm going to move these, I'm going to swap these over. So we're going to have that. So this is going to be our work area. There we go, a bit there so we can see. Right, we need our slip. So we'll get you a bit closer there. We need our jar of slip. And I need to move the camera a bit because it's going to go in the shade all the time, aren't we? Move it there. Better. Put an extra light on them. Bit extra light on the case. There, that better. Not too bad. So this will be a multi-part make, little bits at a time. So what do we need? We need scraping tool, got our slip, we need a brush to apply our slip, brush, open our slip up, see what, make sure it hasn't dried up, give it a mix. Yeah, that's just about right. A good mix. So we'll do a little bit of this, and then, like I say, it'll be a staged video, so we'll come back to different parts of the process. Fingers crossed. Here we go. Right. So got our slip over there. these that were going to go on. I was going to extrude these bits, but I thought I'll just, it's going to be a lot of handwork on them. So I thought we'll just do them by hand. And we'll build it up slowly. Right, here we go. First things first. We score the edges on there. Then we're going to score the edges on the bottom of these. Just to prep them. Hand building is not my forte, so anything could happen. Right, I need a knife. Where's my knife? I need my knife as well. Right, so as far as I can tell, slip is going to be very important on this. Need some more light. There's a light in a different place, don't there? Right. Over here. I'm working in my own light here. Right. Right. First things first. Slip. So we get. So clear for this project is Earthstone ES 90. Sort of a speckled buff clear. Right, slip on there. So that end's done. So we're going to turn that over and we're going to place our first edge on. Like so. Now we need to get this to fit. So what I'm going to do is cut an angle that way to get our next bit and cut that at an angle. Score the face, bit of slip on. Then hopefully that'll marry up to that. We'll do the first layer in this section of the video. Right, so that's a wee bit short. So I think what we'll do, cut that bit off. Cut that bit off. And then we use this bit. So that goes that way. And that's going to go that way. Plenty on there. Need to and then that will be placed in there like so. Press it down. Like so. Need cloth. So you get the gist. I'll get it out of the way so you can see. So we'll zoom in a bit. So you get the gist. We're going to work our way around like that. We're going to smooth these joints out, and so on and so on. So I'll update you every couple of layers. So by the magic of YouTube editing, I'll see you in a minute when we've done a few more layers. Okay, we've made a bit of progress on our sink, and we've had a change of heart with the technique. I'll show you what we've been doing. So we're making basically sausages, slipping and all that. Now I've gone dry, wetter clear, so fresh clear, and literally you rough just a bit of clear like that, and instead of trying to slip it, and because the clear's so wet or fresh, I have seen this on other YouTube videos, so because it's nice and fresh we can just make a very coarse sausage shape. And because the clear is so wet, can we see on there? So because it's wet, we're going to go more rough than slipping and trying to join everything nice. So we're literally going to mush that in, that fresh clay in, and then go back the other way. Now it does look a mess. At this stage I hope that it will improve, because with it being wet it joins together better. So we'll do the other side, do the outside bit. Just take a bit of the excess off. So it joins better and quicker. It's a bit more messy, but as long as you keep on top of it, and then basically cross your joints, and then we will smooth it off at a later stage. So all you got to do is make sure you're maintaining the right thickness. So we'll build it up that way instead. Like I say, it's a bit quicker, a bit less faffy, because as soon as you get slip on everything, it's quite hard to, because your fingers are wet, you can't mush the clay together, to lack of a better term. So what we're doing, so just squash it into a rough sort of inch, because you're gonna mush about half of it off, and then just build up the walls slowly. So we'll do this one again, so I'll put another bit on there, just brace it, mush it together like that, then go the opposite way. Get a bit of height, bit of quicker than doing it the other way. So we'll do this bit here. So as I'm getting more and more practice at it, you can gauge the thickness of the walls, and you can only go so far, unfortunately, because the weight of the clay starts to take over and we'll start to lose our shape. So that needs to be straight, so that's going to need to be propped up. To stop us losing our shape. As you can see, we've got sponges in this side. And just make sure everything's finished. So we'll come back to it at a later stage. Try to limit the possibilities of air gaps to create bubbles which can blow the piece to bits in, as you've seen in one of my other videos. So it's maintained, so it's not too thick. We're just about managing there, about 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch. I think we should be okay. And when the clay does stiffen up a little bit, we'll be able to start smoothing the surfaces off. And how we're doing for height anyway, we need about 15, so another couple of rows on there and we should be there. So we'll try and finish this side off and we'll be back for an update. I'll get out the way so you can see. We'll be back for an update shortly. Right, update on our sink. Update on the sink. We've started to run into a few issues as the weight of the clay and the shape, it's because it's not a round shape, it's starting to droop anyway. As you can see, we've got sponges and props everywhere which aren't doing the job. So we're going to have a change of plan. The thinking is we have a medicine ball which we're going to put on, cover it in a bit of plastic, and then we're going to put that in the middle. So we're going to put our little bat in the middle to keep the base relatively flat, or do I? I don't know. Might flatten it out later on. That might split the clay. Anyway, I'm going to put that in there and flip it over. Yeah, that should be fun. Should be fun. Need a bit of space first, because this is going to take up a lot of room. And I need a bucket. Where is my bucket? Or do I have a bowl? Just to stop there. That'll fit on there. That'll do. That'll stop it rolling about. So we're going for that. We need a steady base to put it on, because that chair's a bit wobbly. So we're going to put it on there, like so. Right. Wish me luck. Here we go. Right, I need a bit of plastic for our cover. That should be enough. Right, I'm going to take all these out the way. out of the way. That out of the way. Right. I don't know how I'm going to attach anything to it once we're finished, like, but it's very sticky. What do we need? We need a bit of masking tape. A bit of masking tape. Actually, I don't think I'm going to use plastic. I'm going to use this fella, I think. A bit of Hessian. I'm going to tape that to the ball. And that doesn't stick. We'll just go for it, won't they? Right, so we've got to put the ball in here. Not fit in here. Right, a bit more height. Oh, this is going to be heavy to turn over. So the idea is open that up, put the ball in there like that, put that like that, then we'll get that over there. How heavy is it? Well, we're just going to have to go for it. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's wobbly. That is very wobbly. Do we go for the bucket? Do we go for the bucket? Well, it's still very wobbly. Now, can we get this off? That's the question. Well, we've got that bit. Get the camera down so you can see what's going on. So there's the underneath of it. So I'm going to have a tidy up and then we'll update in a bit. Welcome back, Sync Video Diary. We've made a little progress. Well, we'll show you. So this is what we're up to at the minute. So we've got it on a keep fit ball, propped up. We've got the basic structure. The next problem is going to be because it's going to be narrower. So the sides, oh, see if we can zoom out of it, that's as much as we can go. So these, that's long ways narrow. So this has got to get squashed without it collapsing. So I'm thinking when we squash them sides in, it'll elongate this end and this end. So it's going to sort of like have a bit of an arc to the ends in it, if that makes sense. Hopefully the base won't disintegrate. So that's the thinnest part. We've been able to start to smooth it off. It's still very wet, but got rid of some of the lumps and bumps. Still a lot of work to do on it when it starts to dry a bit. It's timing it right where it's flexible enough to get it into its sort of finished shape. And then of course we've got to smooth the inside off. Other things, the plug hole tester is dry. So it's drying out nicely. It still fits. Hopefully it will fit when it's finished. Let's get back in shot. So that's it for this update. By the magic of video, I'll be back in a few seconds with the next update. Okay, sink update. So this is the big day. We've got, I'll show you in a second. So we're now dry enough to handle, but we've got to turn it up the right way. So we've been preparing a bit of room, and I'll show you what we've got and what we'll have to attempt to do. So if I bring the camera down, so there's the sink there. So that's dry, or dry-ish, and I think it's okay to move because we need it flexible still, because it's going to be oval shape. And my thoughts are it's going to go into this thing here. So I've made like a nest, so that's going to go on top of there to hold its shape. Flip it over. That's the plan anyway. That's the plan. And there's only one way to find out if it works. You just got to do it. So we'll be going onto the bench up here. So we've got our space ready. So we'll go get that and that all together. So what I'm going to do, we'll move the supports away. So it's freestanding. Are we in the shot? Yes. And then I'm going to move it out a little bit and hope it doesn't fall over. Get everything out of the way. Right. Now I've got to measure the long side. Marks dead easy. I hope it's not going to have loads of marks in it. So that's a narrow side there. So I think we'll go that way. Right. Now I need to just prop that up that way. So get roughly in the middle. So I've got to now I've got to go like push it in, get the prop out the way, out of the way. Right, are you ready? 1, 2, 3, and we're over. Woo, we're over. Right, we'll move the camera. So we're on the bench now. Now we've got to see if we can get the ball out of the way, which it has. Get our hey, we nearly got it in the middle as well. Now we've got it. Shuffle. Right. Now a lot of smoothing off to do. So we'll get your mobile for an update. Get our wire out of the way. So there we go. So that's where we added the bits on. So now I've got to get rid of all these gaps, smooth it, and bring the sides up a little bit. We'll see how it goes from there. So well, we've got both in the shot there we are. So sync, lots more work to be done, and catch you when we update in a little while. See ya. So sync update, we've been doing a little bit more work. We've added some extra bits. We've added some extra packing as well by the looks of it. So now we've raised the ends up a bit, same on this side, and we're just waiting for these top edges to dry, and then we have our dimensions just about there now. We'll have to just make that a nice, take them edges off when it's dry a bit, and got to make sure this doesn't lift up so the water runs out. Got to keep pressing that down as it dries, and then it's a case of smoothing and not getting any plastering it off these plasterboards. So there's been lots of additions, patching and stuff, so I don't know how it's going to fare during the drying process, but there it is. There's the sink. It's here. So catch you up in the next update. Back in a bit. Welcome back to Sync Update. Don't know whether you can see it. It's over here. Yeah, it's there. Made progress. We've got our sort of dimensions just about right now. We'll come back a bit so you can see it. It's looking okay. So we've got the right height. It's been measured, so the sides are starting to dry. They're going pretty solid now, and it's literally just working on it now to smooth it. One thing I haven't tested, which we'll test, it hasn't dried much yet, like, but we'll have that there like that. So I think by the time that dries a bit more, I think it was a good choice to go to the bigger hole cutter than what we thought. So more smoothing off to do. we'll be back for an update later on, so catch you in a few. Sink update. So we've been that's that. So we've been letting it dry very slowly, and it's literally trying to smooth as much out as we can without destroying the shape of it, really, because there was quite a few joints on this top end here, on there and there where it's higher. It's drying out nicely, taking shape. It's relatively smooth. I don't really want to push it too much, so we shall have another update when it's fully dried, which could be quite a while. So this video is going to take a while, and that's just the drying. So see you in the next update. Sink update. So it's been nearly 2 weeks. It's been drying, and we are eventually in the kiln, ready for the bisque firing. So we'll just fingers crossed, everybody, fingers crossed. Well, the bisque firing has finished, so it's to see if our sink has survived. So everything's open. Let's get the camera ready. So I've never looked, so we don't know. Let's have a go. Well, it's in one piece. It has survived. Now we've just got to glaze it. Looks pretty much intact. Well, I am very relieved. So see you when we update it, when we glaze it. So back in a bit. Well, it's been a while, but we'll do a sink update. So it's been glazed, and we'll give you a view of the sink. So there we go, all ready to go in the kiln. So we'll be back in a minute when we are loading it in the kiln, so see you in a second. Well, as promised, there she's there. I'll get a good picture of you. The sink is in. So see in about 24 hours when we open the kiln. So fingers crossed, and I'll just show you. We got a new kiln god. So he's watching out for us. So good luck. See you shortly. Bye bye. Fingers crossed. Well, it is time to get the sink out of the kiln. I'm going to put this camera over here. Must say I did have a quick peek. It's a bit of a disaster. Which is a shame. So that's there it's there. It's cracked in the middle. Goodness me. Right, we'll see if we can extract it. Get these far spanners out the way first. Let's see what we can salvage. Yeah, so it's tipped over on the shelf by the looks of it. So there's our things are stuck to it. That one's off. Got a stress crack there, and it's stuck to this kiln shelf a little bit there. It's got a good finish, and copper ore is very nice. A few bobbly bits. I think it was a bit too, I don't know. Still work in progress, but unfortunately it is no good. So that's the end of our sink marathon. It took us ages to do it with the cold weather, but we haven't given up. We have an idea for a sink Mark II. So thanks for watching, and join me in another video soon. I'll see you later.